and welcome to an event you all have been highly anticipating, your graduation from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I'm Dr. Joanne Wilson, the Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and on behalf of everyone here, welcome to today's ceremony. Would you please stand and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem, led today by the UW-Platteville Symphonic Wind Ensemble. Today you become a part of another special family, that being the UW-Platteville alumni. This is the 199th Commencement ceremony at UW-Platteville, where more than 57,000 graduates have earned their diplomas. Congratulations to all of our candidates here today. Let's start that. Throughout the afternoon, we will salute graduate candidates from the College of Liberal Arts and Education, the College of Graduate Studies, and the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science. This morning, we recognize the graduates from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture. In all, we will have 626 undergraduate students graduating today and 137 graduate candidates in the three ceremonies. As for this ceremony, we will hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, our principal speaker, and our chancellor. We will then recognize some special people, and we will finally present the candidates for graduation. Each commencement, a student speaker is chosen to represent the graduating seniors. This year's speaker is Lucas Weimer. Lucas is a Brodhead, Wisconsin native with a social sciences comprehensive major with history and secondary education minors. With a near perfect 3.99 grade point average, Lucas has been named to the Chancellor's List 7 semesters and has been a 6-time UW-Platteville School of Education scholarship recipient. Please welcome Lucas to the stage.
We'll get there. A popular song of the time goes, "I wish somebody would have told me that someday these will be the good old days. That someday soon your whole life's going to change, that you're going to miss the magic of these good old days." Think about that for a second. Everything we are used to, our schedule and way of life, will soon be completely different in just a few short hours. Mind you, these words come from the same person who said white walls on the wheels like mayonnaise, and yo, it was 99 cents. So maybe we should take this all with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, pioneers, we finally made it. After all the waiting, the classes, the tests and the tears, our time to cross the stage is finally upon us. This long journey we've been working towards for years has now finally come to a close. But I ask you this, was it worth it? Was it really worth all that time and money? Will these really be our good old days? You can make an argument that knowledge can simply be found with a Google search. But what we've acquired here is more than just knowledge. We've gained an education in this thing called life. Through both the good times and the bad times, UW-Platteville made us the people we are today. Remember the day when you first moved in here to Platteville? After the weeks of waiting and preparing, your time to escape from home and become an adult had finally arrived. Your car pulls up outside your first resident hall, and an overly energetic RA named Charlie greets you with a Hawaiian shirt and man bun saying, "This is going to be the best year of your life." You get out and feel the hot, humid August air and really wonder why we don't do this in March. After rushing to get everything unpacked, remember, 15 minutes maximum parking, you finally get up to your room. You put the key in, turn the handle, and open the door to the next stage of your life. Throughout the next 4 years, we'd see many fun times come and go. Some of these fun times might include things like playing frisbee golf down in the park, jamming out with friends to hit songs like "What Does the Fox Say?" and "Shake It Off" by the beautiful Taylor Swift. Or maybe even something as simple as getting an A on your test. Maybe you remember climbing the 266 steps of the M just to see all the beautiful landscape. Of course, this usually had to be recorded with a selfie and later uploaded to Facebook. Or maybe you'll remember the crowds at the Student Center, whether it's for a stand-up Saturday, Mongolian grill, or even the crazy pastors. We always knew something was going to happen. Or maybe instead you decide to remember some of the stranger things, like the time we had a clown in the graveyard, or when a deer jumped through the window of Porter, or when Yik Yak actually used to be a thing. Whatever your Platteville experience was, it was bound to have some good times. These were the memories that made our college experience so great. Although they may now come and gone, will they ever truly leave us? After all, they helped us. They made these past years worth it. They were the reason we kept coming back to this place we began to call home. However, what about the memories we'd rather not remember? Were they not there too? Your first big fight with your roommate? The time when your significant other, the one you were supposed to be with for the rest of your life, decided to end it with you? Your first time failing a test and feeling like there's no way you could possibly continue on with college? Or better yet, when you work your butt off all semester long on a term paper just to find out you got a low enough score to ensure you drop down a letter grade? But really, no hard feelings, Professor Tesdall. Although we not think about it, these memories are with us just as much as the good ones. If not, maybe even a little more. It was through these times of trouble that we learned who we really are. We learned how to fail and recover. We learned that the bad times do not have to keep us down, but instead can be used to bring us up. We learned how to hit rock bottom and still keep trucking on, because whether we liked it or not, we still had an 8 a.m. class the next morning that we couldn't skip. These experiences helped shape us into the people we are today, and the people we will continue to be once we leave this university. Now help me out here, everyone. Not just the people here in the front in the robes, but everyone. And raise your hand if you've ever heard somebody say that college is the best 4 years of your life. Go on now, don't be shy. Exactly. A majority of the people here have heard somebody say, at least one point in their life, that college is the best 4 years of your life. But now my question for you is, why? With everything that life has going for us, why should college be the best 4 years? When we have the opportunities for family, friends, a job, and general happiness, why would we ever put college on top of it all? Is it because of the classes? Doubtful. No offense. No offense. What about the tests? The essays? The overall feeling of stress and anxiety? No. No. It's because of the memories we made here each and every day while attending this beautiful university. It's because we learned during our time here to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And by doing so, find the fun and excitement in every situation. Within the next few hours, we'll be leaving this university and more than likely never seeing each other again. However, before we do that, I'm giving us one last assignment. Embrace your past, but challenge your future. Look back on your time here at P Vegas with a smile. Remember the good times and the bad times for what they were, but never live in them. Instead, use them as motivation to challenge yourself. Use them to push yourself further than you ever thought you could. Because if you want to make something of yourself, and thereby make your life truly worth living, you're going to have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. After all, your entire college career, you were challenged and more uncomfortable than you ever thought you could be. And look how it turned out. You're here waiting for me to get done talking so you can cross the stage and get a diploma. If you can do that in just a few short years, imagine what you could do with the rest of your life. Don't miss the magic of the good old days, but make the future equally as magical. Congratulations, pioneers. We finally did it. Let's go out and make this world ours. Thank you.
Today's principal speaker is Cynthia Delgado Galvan. She is an English and reading instructor at Milwaukee Area Technical College and a faculty advisor at Pearson Publishing. Since receiving her master's degree in education from UW-Platteville in 2002, she has compiled more than 15 years of work in higher education institution and has been awarded numerous accolades and awards. Please welcome Cynthia Delgado Galvan.
Oh, okay. That's perfect, I think. Wow. How does a girl who had no idea she could survive high school end up here? I was born and raised on the east side of Aurora, Illinois, a blue-collar city. It was a place where most kids didn't participate in sports. They didn't do many after-school activities because they could not afford to do so. It was a place where many teens went to work after school to help support their families. East Aurora High School was a place that required you to pass through security check, much like the airports do today. And that was in late 80s and 1990s. A place that required its students to use see-through book bags and purses while on school property. It was a place where my freshman year of high school, 3 of my male classmates were shot in front of me as I walked home from school. It was a place that was once plagued by gang violence. But somehow, by God's grace, I made it. And my journey has landed me here with you today. This week has been one of many affirmations and of much joy. On Monday evening, I attended the governor's holiday reception. And as I walked up the stairs to reach that beautifully lit mansion, all I kept thinking was, Cynthia, you have come a long way. But today trumps that eventful night. Just don't tell the governor I said that. I am so very humbled by the opportunity to share with you today one of your most memorable days. I want to congratulate you, the graduating class of 2017. I also want to congratulate your parents, spouse, and friends, girlfriends and boyfriends, for being such great support systems for you and helping you reach this important milestone. I promise to be like Marilyn Monroe was with her marriages, engaging but short. I often get asked, how did you decide to become a professor? I always answer because I love to help others reach their potential. But the truth is that I discovered I wanted to teach one summer day when I was entering the senior year of high school. Late bloomer, wasn't I? I had gone with my dad to help him volunteer at the local UAW, United Auto Workers Union office. Most longtime Caterpillar employees were on strike. My dad was putting in his volunteer hours to get his support check. See, all Caterpillar families were financially burdened. This included our family. This check meant we had groceries for the week. So that morning while we were stapling picket signs, he looked over to me and said, "You need to finish high school. You don't want to end up like me, without a job." He continued on packing the picket signs into the box, and he said, "I don't even know how to read well enough to fill out a job application. And so here I am." When your grandfather returned from serving the Army in World War II, he came back in a wheelchair and could not work. So the family, your aunts and uncles and I, traveled all over the states picking all sorts of fruits. We never stayed long enough anywhere so that I could finish school, and I only went up to the 5th grade. This is a shocking revelation to me, and immediately I realized he could not read. I felt so horrible because all I could think of in that moment is how I would respond every time he'd ask me to read his mail. I'd say, "Can't you do it yourself, Dad?" Feeling the shame in my actions, I listened while he told me stories of his migrant farm working days. So that morning, I promised my father that I would finish high school and that one day I would become a teacher to help children in the migrant fields learn how to read. He smiled at me and said, "Oh, mija," which means daughter of mine, "you will be so poor." That day, unknowingly, my father ignited my fire. I now had a goal, and I now had a life purpose. So later that summer, I set up a meeting with my guidance counselor to make sure I added some classes to my schedule that would help me get into college. When I made that petition with my guidance counselor, he said, "You're not college material, so I cannot change your classes." As he smiled at me and he said, "But you've been doing really well in those home ec classes. You should keep those." While I thought those classes were purposeful when I was taking them, I felt so offended. I left angry. I was so angry I was in tears. I later asked my father to meet with him in hopes that he could convince him. So my father did. That was something he never did. He never went to the school. Because you only went to school when there was something bad happening. But he went, because I insisted, and I didn't give up. And after their meeting, I asked him, "So what did he say?" My father painstakingly replied, "Well, he said you can't take the classes. Those classes you want, you just can't take. And he's the authority in the school, so I guess he's right." Fast forward to 2002, upon my graduation from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville Master's in Education, I sent that counselor an invitation to my commencement ceremony. I felt a moral responsibility to do so. See, he was assigned all the D's, which meant that he was assigned to all the Delgados in my family. And he would continue on to have Delgados because there's a bunch of us. I reminded him of that day that I went to his office seeking help with no avail. I thanked him, for it was because of that day that I learned that no one has the power to control your destiny. Only you do. Even when the door doesn't open and it looks like you'll never get in, keep on knocking. It eventually has to open. This never give up attitude has helped me in my career. I believe the most valuable thing you can give someone is your time. I keep a quote by Pope Francis in my office. These are words I live by. Our life and time is God's gift, and therefore it is important to make use of it by performing good and fruitful actions. No matter how busy I may be, I try to be conscientious of my time and listen to those who are in need of me. One semester, I had a student who was a middle-aged African-American woman who had 2 sons, one in college and one in high school. She had just adjusted to the routine of getting back to school and was doing great in my class. 2 weeks before finals, she came into my office in tears. Her high school-aged son had gotten into trouble and was in jail. She came to me with her worries, and I assured her that we would work together so that she could finish her semester and begin her nursing clinicals. Those were only a semester away if she could just make it. She did. She completed my class, and she got in. Fast forward 5 years later, my 13-year-old daughter had been hospitalized for 37 days. I was drained. I was working full-time and going to school full-time to get my second master's degree, of which I was determined to finish. I remember this day so clearly. I met with the doctors that evening to sign off on a new course of medication. I signed off on this new course of medication reluctantly because I had not researched it. As good professors do, we research everything. But I put my faith in the doctors, and I left the hospital. As I was walking out, I ran into my former student. She was wearing scrubs and in her hospital, had her hospital ID tags. She said in one breath, "I'm so happy to see you. I've never forgotten you." As she showed me her badge, she said, "I made it." And then in an instant, her smile went away as she asked me, "Do you have someone in here?" And I replied, "Yes, my daughter." She said, "Oh, Ms. G, I'm so sorry. She must be very sick." She said, "I'm the charge nurse on this floor, and I usually work during the day, but I'm filling in for someone tonight, and I want you to know your daughter is in good hands." I thanked her and walked out of the elevator with ease. As soon as I arrived home, the doctor called me to tell me that my daughter had had an adverse reaction to the medication, but that she was now stable and okay. In that instant, I wish I could just be there, but the doctor assured me that she was now stable and okay. The next morning, my 13-year-old daughter called me and told me she had had the worst night ever. She said, "I wish you had stayed with me that night. I really needed you yesterday." But you know, after the doctors left and I was better, a nurse stayed in my room to watch over me all night. She hugged me while I cried for you, and she held my hand and told me not to worry, that I would be okay. She was going to take good care of me. In that morning when she woke up, she said, "I know your mom. I was her student." Teaching is not always easy. By the virtue of our professions, teaching requires us to lead by example, to be servant leaders. Through our work, we become role models for others. My life purpose has been to empower those to reach their fullest potential. It has been great to watch people's success. It is my hope, through my work, to leave a small mark in this world that will transcend generations to come. In 2001, I did fulfill my promise to my father and began teaching adults enrolled in the Migrant High School Education Program at Milwaukee Area Technical College, where we graduated 150 migrant workers annually. This work has led me to serve on the board of directors for the United Migrant Opportunity Services in Milwaukee. This organization oversees mostly all the early childhood education Head Start programs across the state of Wisconsin and other states. The Wisconsin Works program, and it offers services to victims of domestic violence and human trafficking, among other social services. I have been blessed to be able to line up my life purpose to my daily work. Every day, I run into someone whose life has crossed my path, and I've had the privilege to teach. Like the dental hygienist who says, "I remember you. I took your English class," as she walks up to greet me to call me back to the chair. And usually I always say, "Did I pass you?" Or the student who stops by my classroom to thank me for helping him get through the tough semester, and to share with me that he has passed his firefighter exam and will not be able to support his family. Or the student, a migrant farm worker who only wanted to finish his GED and go to work. But I insisted he attend college. Before he could run off and out of the campus, I walked him over to the guidance to register for classes, college classes that he was too afraid to take. I capriciously insisted that one day he would become a great teacher. This student, who was one of 13 in his home, the first to graduate who could not consider college as an option because there was no money for college. This former student today greets me at the door as I pick up my granddaughter from school, as most grade school principals do. Being able to see others' success is most rewarding in my profession, but the best part of teaching is having the opportunity to serve others. My 5 children would tell you my road to achieving my life purpose has not been easy. But this is my story. How will you write yours? As you move into your respective careers, I want to share with you some tips that have helped me along the way. Find your inner fire, find your passion. Discover your life purpose and line up your life purpose with your career. If you can accomplish this, life can be so rewarding. No one, not one person, has the power to control your destiny. Only you do. Even when the door doesn't open and it looks like you will never get in, keep on knocking. Eventually, it has to open. Have that never give up attitude. This will get you through the most difficult of times. Give the gift of time. This will make the world of a difference to someone. Be of service. Lead by example. See, for me, teaching is a gift. So I want to add 2 more tips. Be humble and be kind. In closing, I want to leave you with a quote from the song Be Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. I promise I'm not singing. That'd be horrible. But the noteworthy lyrics are as follows. When those dreams you are dreaming come to you, when the work you have put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always be humble and proud. I want to thank you for allowing me to share this moment with you. And I want to thank the University of Wisconsin-Platteville for allowing me to share this moment with you. Congratulations to you, class of 2017.
Thank you, Cynthia. Wow. Chancellor Dennis J. Shields is in his 8th year at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. During that time, he's guided the campus through tremendous growth in programs, resources, and facilities. Most recently, he piloted an impressive effort to gain legislative and gubernatorial approval to build a new $55 million state-of-the-art engineering facility, as well as a $23.7 million renovation project for Babel Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chancellor Dennis J. Shields.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. And thank you for that powerful story, Cynthia. Good afternoon. We can do better than that. Good afternoon. Okay. Graduates, you have every reason to be proud and happy today, and it is really a special day and one of my favorite days on campus. The other favorite day is the first day when students arrive. Those are 2 days that I know every student is happy. Today, we recognize and celebrate you and your accomplishments. You have successfully completed the requirements for a University of Wisconsin-Platteville degree. You still have to take your finals next week. On behalf of myself, the faculty and staff of this university, we say, well done. It's always important to recognize the parents and family and friends who've supported these students, as well as the faculty. And this event allows me the opportunity to personally thank all of the people who've supported the graduates we have in front of us today. To the faculty, whether you know it or not, I observe all the great things that you do. Whether it's going to the Mining Museum and seeing a group of history students have a research experience about the history of African American miners in this area of the world, or learning about the great success of our soils team, or seeing the research of our students that's presented in the rotunda to the legislators in this state. I could go on. Of all the obvious ways, I saw earlier this year that 9 of our graduates last year are in the entering class of the veterinary school at Madison this year. I think that's remarkable. That is a tribute to what you do day in and day out. You don't do it for the paycheck. You don't do it because you get praised every day. You do it because you have a passion and you care tremendously about your students. I thank you for that. And the parents and family and friends, you've provided emotional support, and I suspect many of you financial support, and helped these students along their path in so many ways. And we are grateful for that support, and I hope later today they express their gratitude to you. With those two groups behind them and with their commitment, these students have their education and have their degrees. Thank you all for your support. Probably the toughest things for the graduates is that you're going to get a lot of advice, and I'm going to give you a little bit more, but then you'll get a walk across the stage. I'm so pleased for you, but I have a charge for you also, and that is to pay it forward to your families, to your communities, to your employers, and to anyone you come in contact with. In my view, there's too much divisiveness in the world today. And as you leave here today, degree in hand, be a leader, be a pioneer, build on our strong legacy that is now more than 150 years old. But more importantly, seek to bring others along with you. Acknowledging the value of another human being in a positive way makes a tremendous and remarkable difference. To have the empathy and compassion to be concerned about every person that you come into contact with is a remarkable thing. My experience has taught me that you never know how the smallest effort in this regard can have a tremendous, positive, and lasting impact on someone. This one small gesture may not immediately change someone's life, but the continued pattern of behavior will have a profound impact. I have the pleasure of serving on the Board of Trustees of my undergraduate institution, Graceland University. There are many people at Graceland that wonder how that happened, given what they know about my career there, but we'll let that go. This past year I was at one of our meetings, we were having a meal, and there was a gentleman sitting next to me who's currently the Vice President for Student Affairs at Graceland. And he asked me, tell me again when you were at Graceland, and I said, well, I was here from 73 to 77. He said, I thought so. We overlapped. I was a freshman when you were a senior. and you had a tremendous impact on me. You changed the course of my life at Graceland. I'm like, well, I don't even remember this guy. What could I have done? And he said to me, I was walking down the sidewalk one time in the midst of a conversation with another person, and he was walking towards me, and he was a freshman, and he was very uncertain of himself. But I spoke to him. I said, hello, how you doing? And he said, I've always remembered that because that's the first time I felt like I belonged at Graceland. It's a moment I didn't even remember, but he remembers it, and that's been more than 40 years ago. So know that your interactions and personal connections with others can and will last a lifetime. Make certain that your impact is a positive one. American author Napoleon Hill said, think twice before you speak, because your words and influence will plant the seed of either success or failure in the mind of another. Your life and career should not only be defined by how well you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. It should be defined in large part by the nature and quality of your interactions with others. Now, I'm confident that you learned something of this during your time here, both inside the classroom and outside, whether it was in Student Senate, in undergraduate research, as a residence life assistant, in student organizations, in many of the community outreach efforts that our students make, soils competition, the entrepreneurial competition, all of those gave you the opportunity to interact and learn to collaborate with others in a positive way. Continue to work on refining those skills as you move through life. When you enter your professional field and your community, take personal responsibility for having a positive impact on the people around you. This takes a self-awareness. It means being intentionally positive and welcoming. Be a positive example and a positive voice. Throughout my life, I've had heroes, big and small, and people who have positively influenced me. The ones I've admired most are the ones who've acted or expressed either personally to me or in their actions beyond me and beyond, into the world beyond, about others and not just themselves. They're folks like Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy, and even a sports star, Roberto Clemente, one of the greatest baseball players that ever lived. He lost his life in a plane crash seeking to take rescue materials to people injured in earthquakes in Central America. All of these people had a profound influence on the way I think about myself and the world around me. And yes, I'm old enough even to remember JFK's inaugural address, where he followed this same theme and said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I think those are still profound words more than 55 years later. So I hope your success in life will not be measured by dollars, but in respect you have for others and the positive influence you have on your friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers. That is, in fact, what pioneers are known for. So go out into the world and be a positive influence, and let everyone know that every day is a great day to be a pioneer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. Each year, Alliant Energy presents the Underkoffler Award to an outstanding educator in the UW system. We are fortunate to have this year's recipient join us today. I ask Dr. Evan Larson to join me at the podium. Come on up, Evan. Dr. Larson is an associate professor of geography whose passion for his work is contagious for his students, his colleagues, and beyond. Since coming to this university in 2009, Dr. Larson has received more than $900,000 in grants and contracts to conduct research primarily using tree rings to reconstruct environmental and human history over recent centuries. His projects have included support for undergraduate researchers to help infuse authentic research experiences into the educational experiences of his students. Dr. Larson, your teaching, your advising, your work outside the classroom, and your dedication to students make you a role model. And I thank you, and we recognize your achievements with the Underkoffler Award for Excellence in Education. Congratulations. Good to see you. I now ask that Phil Muldrum, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, come forward to present the Alumni Lifetime Memberships.
Thank you, Provost Wilson. UW-Platteville Alumni Association annually recognizes outstanding graduates with the Honorary Lifetime Pioneer Award by awarding them lifetime membership in the Alumni Association. The award is based on a variety of criteria, including campus activities and leadership, community involvement, professional development and employment, academic excellence, and the future probability of future involvement in the Alumni Association. I ask the following graduates to stand and be recognized as the Alumni Association Lifetime Membership recipients. College of LAE, sitting right behind me. Lewis? Mine. Okay. And from the College of Graduate Studies, William Yang, who last we knew was in Europe. So we wanted to acknowledge him as well. Graduates, as you leave our university, consider the words of Winston Churchill. Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. It's the courage that counts. Future alumni, wherever your life journeys take you, always remember that we are forever pioneers. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. You may wonder what the different colored stoles and cords are that are around many of our graduates' necks. Our international students wear white flag stoles featuring the United States flag and the flags of their home countries. UW-Platteville students who have studied abroad wear stoles featuring the flags of the countries where they studied. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies have also bestowed different color stoles and pins on their graduates, representing additional extracurricular and high-impact practice learning. I want to call special attention to those wearing the gold honor cords. These gold cords are worn by students who have received academic honors. Students with honors are also designated in your programs with an asterisk. Will the individuals who are graduating magna cum laude please rise? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages above a 3.5. Congratulations to our magna cum laude graduates. Now, the students earning the highest honors, graduating summa cum laude, will you please stand? These graduates have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.75 and 4.0. Please join me in congratulating all of these graduates. Each faculty member has a different style of gown and accessories depending on his or her field and level of education. I admit whenever Anne is in the room, I'm always a little embarrassed with my just plain black robe. So I love her red robe. For a PhD, the hood is large and colorful and has silk patches and a velvet patch. The silk patch is the colors of the institution that gave the degree, and the velvet tells you what kind of degree that is. The doctoral gown has a black velvet strip that extends down the front, as well as 3 black velvet stripes across the sleeves. For the master's degree, the hood is the same length as the doctor's hood, but does not fully expose the lining, and the velvet edge is not as wide. Faculty and staff wear the colors of their institution that granted the highest degree they've been awarded. Now, the moment everyone's been waiting for, will all of the individuals who are candidates for bachelor's degree please stand? Bachelor's degree. Chancellor Shields, as provost and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degree, and upon completion of the prescribed curricula and their finals next week, they will be entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost and Vice Chancellor, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges thereto.
And now, undergraduates, please take your tassel and you move it from the right to the left, and you are now a UW-Platteville graduate. Congratulations. If only it were really that simple, huh? So please be seated as we begin the awarding of the individual degrees. We know this is an exciting time, so I ask that everyone show respect for the graduates and for those seated near you. Be careful of those artificial noisemakers, if you have any, and how they might affect the people sitting in front of you. David Keekafer, the registrar, will read the names of the candidates. So I ask that Dr. Melissa Gormley, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, come forward.
Chancellor Shields and Provost Wilson, as Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelors of Science. Candidates, please begin coming forward.
Lucas John Weimer. Claire E. Draginis. Caitlin N. Acker. Michael I. Adali. Marina Lucia Allen. Zachary C. Anderson. Mary Frances Arnold. Katie Ann Bile. Claire L. Baumgartner. Janie Lynn Baumgartner. Savannah Grace Betton. Julie Caitlin Binder.
Yeah, Julie! Woo!
Hannah Lee Blacklock. Octavia D. Bogan. Molly Mae Bond. Elizabeth Bryson. Sarah M. Bruning. Megan Lynn Burbach. Mackenzie Brooke Burgick. Eleanor S. Burton. Rachel Noel Dankmeyer. Chelsea Renee Davis. Jordan A. Davis. Caitlin Devney. Christian James Harvey Dorst. Reagan M. Eachus. Jessica A. Ellenbecker. Zachary E. Fisher. Carly Jo Four. Jacob P. Forney. Jacob Michael Fry. Mary Rose Gavin. Ethan James Glendenning. Monica Glodowski. Blake Douglas Glynn. Alyssa Lynn Gorman. Caitlin S. Gergich. Cody O. Grimsled. Daniel Brent Halterman. Megan Lynn Hammond. Nicholas Oscar Harding. William August Hendrickson. Leah Noel Huxama. Megan P. Hans. Kyle P. Hopman. Ryan A. Howe. Elizabeth A. Hughes. Therese Marie Rose Hughes. Jace M. Jenkins. Laura E. Johnson. Emily Marie Jones. Aaron S. Kaiser. Lucas Andrew Keller. Dylan Klitsky. Carly Jordan Cook. Victoria J. Kazabucky. Brandon M. Koziel. Mackenzie K. Kubishak. Cecilia A. Labarge. Mitchell L. Langkamp. Elizabeth Suzanne Larison. Justin Larson. Hannah Rose Leffelholtz. Caitlin A. Long. Morgan Nicole Monosmith. Valerie K. Majerus. Travis L. Mashuga. Brianna Lou McCauley. Kayla Ann McCluskey. Cole J. McGraw. Jill Ann McCula. McKenna M. Morales. Alicia Morida. Alexandra Marion Moritz Hansen. Madeline Jean Muckenberger. Jordan Mary O'Connell. Jenna L. Oliver. Danielle K. Parker. Kathy M. Patton. Clay Paulson. Austin James Picard. Heather Corinne Peck. Cassandra Ann Peters. Brooke K. Posey. Caitlin Jean Price. Jacqueline K. Purple. Andrew J. Redman. Patrick Oliver Roach. Abigail Ann Ryan. Christian G. Sanchez Alcantar. Maboje Sar. Julia Jean Schmeltzer. Andrew J. Schmidt. Charles Benjamin Schoenberg. Kelly Ann Schricker. Amber Rose Schultz. Alexander John Secord. Patrick James Sheehan. Jacqueline Marie Shepler. Emily Ann Simons. Nicholas Albert Soppy. Maxwell N. Snyder. Christy Sommerfeld. Cassandra Hope Story. Kelly Ann Switz. Alyssa Lynn Seidel. Joanna R. Thompson. Noah Patrick Thomas. Zachary John Thomas. Kyle J. Trevorrow. Paige A. Wagner. Tyler Wallace. Alexandra Waller. Chloe Driskowski Ware. Kayla Lee Warner. Taylor Nicole Wadig. Deanna Ray Wegner. Bethany Mary Jean Wendler. Matthew Jacob White. Kyle Whitman. Kayla N. Wigand. Denise N. Wiley. Nicole Ann Willenbring. Eric John Wilhite. Catherine E. Williams. Vanessa Woodworth. Levi T. Zacharias. Mike Daniel Zelinskas.
I now ask Dr. Chanika Mendes, Director of the School of Graduate Studies, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education please stand? Chancellor Shields and Provost Wilson, as Director of the School of Graduate Studies, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education. And now, Master degree candidates, please begin to come forward to receive your hoods.
Victor E. Allen. Dominic Charles Alvarez. Keith E. Anderson. Patricia Avila. Ashley A. Basom. Deborah Latrice Bell. Stephen Carter. James W. Case. Robert A. Decker. Scott M. DeWitt. Rachel M. Engeler. Barbara Ann Herbs McDermott. Kayla Arns. Melanie H. Estill. Nicole Copus Frummel. Megan A. Gaspardo. Brooke A. Gomez. Brett Hartwig. Jared Carl Hawes. John W. Hafel. Laura Henning Perkins. Nathan A. Hughes. Kristen Beryl Hurlbert. Richard Todd Kendall. Daniel G. Close. Linda Larson. Nathaniel Edward Lease. Jamie Leeper. Wendy Lustig. Joshua McWan. Aaron Clifford McCracken. Emily Patricia McLaughlin. Joseph G. Mulrooney. Stephen David Palmer. Joanna Elizabeth Paykel. Jeremy Vincent Payne. Stephanie Peterson. Jay Plemon. Carl E. Sandry. Amy P. Smith. Essie Smith Kavanaugh. Eric Soberg. Tanya L. Spofford. Michael Joseph Sullivan. Patrick Sykes. Tenzin Saynor. Matthew M. Wilkinson. Sharnae Raquel Wilkes. Renee Strasdus Wright. Oleg Yusum. Lee Edward Zumdom. Our final degree recipient today is Susan M. Peterson. Susan passed away on October 19, 2017, 3 days after completing her final course. Her family is unable to attend today, but are viewing the ceremony via streaming video. Accepting Susan's diploma in academic-hood on behalf of her family are program coordinator Ann Krebs-Byrne and instructor Brenda Hunter.
Congratulations to all of our undergraduate and graduate students. Putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, much of it behind the scenes. I want to thank the following people. The Commencement Committee, led by Ian Drager and Dr. Leonida Lumanovich. Commencement Marshal Mark Rubel, professor in the Psychology Department. Registrar David Kiekefer, who ably read our names today. The student ambassadors who served as ushers. The UW-Platteville Symphonic Wind Ensemble for our music, led by Dr. Barry Ellis. Media Technology Services, Event Services, and the Division of University Relations. For all those that were just mentioned who helped with the production of today's ceremony, could you please rise and be recognized? Sitting in front of the stage is a group who has taught and advised and so much more for this graduating class. Will the UW-Platteville faculty and staff stand and be honored today? None of this would have been possible without this last group, who's helped our graduates throughout their college careers and indeed their entire lives. With the families and the friends of the December 2017 graduates, please stand and be recognized. Now, please turn to page 44 of your commencement program for the alma mater, led again by Savannah Benton, and accompanied by the UW-Platteville Symphonic Wind Ensemble. recorded, and they are available for on-demand viewing on the website. Go to the Registrar's page, and you'll find them there. Please remain seated until the faculty has left the gymnasium. Once they have reached the lobby, the graduates will be dismissed and can join their families and friends. The flags representing all of the countries from which our students hail are displayed out in the main lobby for pictures, as are the college banners. This concludes our ceremony, and once again, congratulations to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduating class of December 10, 2017. He'll start in a minute.
mind just taking the music and passing it down maybe